I love that the episode starts at this very confusing point with no explanation. They always structured their episodes for a very satisfying payoff at the end. Excellent fish joke, but how is this sustainable in any way? What happens when you open the door? And this show's soundtrack is so underrated. This piano track is beautiful and plays with the tone so well.
I need to get as far away from Los Angeles as possible.
Americrane Airlines. The flight to Turkey being stuffed. Also the fact that you now have to buy water and oxygen masks on airplanes. It's dystopian, but honestly we're really close to being there already in this country.
Should I punch it into that screen?
Uh-huh. And say nice things about me. That screen's my supervisor.
We're also close to this, scarily enough.
I'm Peter Sagal. Don't wait, do answer your phone.
Diane's ringtone is yet again a great journalist cameo with some excellent answering phone-related puns. Peter Sagal was the host of Wait, Don't Tell Me. Also, this sign at the top of the building is an advertisement for seahorse milk. I'm glad to see that their product is global. Love the amount of detail that they give Hanoi with the bustling streets and marketplaces. Apparently this is quite accurate to how Hanoi looks, although it's more similar to its appearance in the early 2000s rather than 2018 when this takes place. Even the choices of animals we see walking by are typically animals that are native to Vietnam. But it is evident that they clearly put the effort in to represent the old quarter, as it's called. It's not perfect, like some of the background characters wearing ao dai, which is not exactly common, but it does deserve points for the effort that they did put in, and I thank everyone who helped out when I put that discussion post by providing context for their portrayal of Vietnam. Thank you so much for all of your help, guys. I really appreciate it.
Stefani?
Hey girls!
Stefani's huge earbuds.
I'm doing a new, fully immersive 3D spin class. Oh, you know what? I'm just biking.
Possibly my favorite joke in the series. It actively makes me guffaw every time I hear it.
I need words for my website. There are words on the website now, but I need younger words, newer words, fresher words to feed the insatiable beast.
Stefani's power is terrifying.
10 Reasons to Go to Vietnam, a Girl Cruise personal travel guide. Number 1, to reconnect with your ancestral roots.
Fun way to frame this episode and give us a reason to hear Diane's internal monologue.
With an arm like that, you're gonna get booted back to AAA, you skeezer.
Exaggerated Bostonite antics and accents.
And it's comforting to see your name everywhere.
It's a great gag that literally every sign has her name on it, but it is factually the most common surname in Vietnam.
You want to truly immerse yourself and get the full non-LA experience. Ooh.
This is an amazing joke because non la in Vietnamese just means cone-shaped hats.
Times to find yourself, you need to get as far away from the world you know.
Coming through! Hot sex! Movie lingo!
Interesting commentary about how difficult it can be to escape American culture and how invasive it can be in other countries.
You put on the clothing you bought and it feels like a costume. This is not your home.
It makes sense that Diane feels no connection to Vietnamese culture, though, after the flashback where her dad dismisses the importance of their heritage. This chicken is promoting how delicious they are and encouraging folks to eat them. Sounds like Chicken for Days marketing, all right. It is FDA approved, so therefore it is fine.
Qua bên trái. Qua bên trái.
Qua bên trái. Thank you.
Setting up the phrases Diane will use later in this episode. Just for clarity, so high means number 2, and qua bên trái means to the left. The absolute enormity of this chicken leg paints a disturbing picture. The episode Chicken still has its roots in me. It honestly is so pervasive through the rest of the series.
Are you okay? You left my party without saying goodbye.
A little hint about what made Diane run away in the first place.
Todd got his tongue stuck to the ice sculpture. By the time we got him off, his tongue was completely numb when the mob boss at the roller rink thought he was making fun of his deaf sister. I'm sorry, this is turning into a Todd story.
Todd stories even take over conversations where Todd is not even involved.
Well, you have to let me fetch you from the airport.
Cute dog gag, plus it's nothing other than the LA Gazette from Stop the Presses. Still in business. Somehow.
Of course I remembered to do that, but I have to hang up immediately now because our conversation has reached a natural conclusion. Goodbye.
Alice and Bree's timing is so funny.
I love that we're mature enough to still be in each other's lives.
I know. Other divorced couples can't handle it, but we're handling it so well.
Overcompensating to cover their emotions is so realistic for behavior after a really big life change like this one.
The way it works around here is you look at a menu, pick what you want, I'll bring it to you, and then you pay at the end.
So, like,
One of the darkest background gags of all time.
hey, why don't you have a housewarming party? Yeah! Now that you don't have a mean wife who hates parties, you can finally live it up.
Diane's behavior is fascinating to me here. She's ultimately trying to pretend to be fun and lighthearted, but is ultimately taking herself down in the process, revealing how she's actually feeling about herself after this divorce.
But only if you come. Promise.
I'll come if you have those divorce papers.
Me again.
I love the camera work here, where Mr. Peanutbutter and Diane kinda start flirting a little bit, and then Pickles comes in and interrupts it.
I am from America.
No, me, America. You, Vietnam.
No, me, America.
Great gag about some American tourists and their ignorance. Nice painting reference with a little added animal person.
What are they other than a place to repeat negative patterns?
Bojack walking in as Diane says negative patterns. I love Diane's boxes of clothes having endless pairs of the same things. Just jackets, jeans, even just a box full of glasses. Great recurring gag.
Where did you get all this junk?
This is a fucking terrible Dennis Kucinich shirt. Never did get that nomination, did he?
This place smells weird. I want to go home. I don't tell you everything.
You do. There's literally nothing you haven't told me.
Funny joke about Bojack's involuntary candor, but a little bit of a dark moment when you realize one of the main plots this season between these two becomes something Bojack didn't tell her.
There.
Yeesh.
Best part is this apartment's in LA, so it's probably approximately $2,500 a month and was billed as a swanky conservative studio with character and potential on Zillow.
Some cockroaches in IT tried to unionize, so I just called an exterminator.
Great dark joke about how rich people deal with unions rather than just talking to their employees. Also a nice little pun on Bikram yoga, though I don't see what the benefit of this particular subsection of yoga would be.
I need that listicle on 5 empowering roles for women over 40. That would be better played by Jennifer Lawrence.
And once again, Stefani is the perfect representation of preaching progressivism, but never actually wanting to see it in media. Want to hear something tragic? This is a mug from the Diane-themed Starbucks room in the party Mr. Peanutbutter threw for her way back in season 2.
Do you mean literally Vietnam? Or like when Old Navy told me they were looking for a fresher face for their performance fleece commercials and they ended up with Sherman Hemsley?
What?
That was my Vietnam.
Bojack.
I'm in a really good place.
Awesome.
A really good place.
Great transition and representation of what it feels like to go through a major life change or leave someone you've been with for a really extended period of time.
I'm working out a system so I only drink a little each day. This is my cheat day.
Even in a non-Bojack episode, they're able to insert a moment that points to the fact Bojack's system is already not working.
Come on, you know why? It's just weird. Like, we could totally make out right now.
Messy behavior, Diane. It is awkward and uncomfortable to watch, but so accurate. Diane is extremely lonely here and yearns for that support that Mr. Peanutbutter always provided her. Plus, she's drunk, and she knows that Bojack has had a crush on her at one point in the past.
Because then that means I'm staying here, and I cannot stay here again. Not after last time.
What do you mean? That was fun.
Bojack stating that the last time Diane was here was fun is one of the most subtly alarming things I've ever heard. Diane stating that he didn't grow later this season is kind of true.
No, that time I ended up in New Mexico. I stayed with this family, got close with the daughter, but,
building tension in the return of this storyline and its consequences. This poster makes me crack up. It's not like an awful saying, but it's just weird enough to be hanging up in Bojack's therapy offices.
Quab and chai.
All right.
Apparently, Diane's pronunciation is also much better at this point in time, and it's clear that Alice and Bree actually made an attempt to learn how to say these phrases correctly, short as they are. The beer they're given is labeled 5-5, which could be a reference to 3-3, which used to be a premium beer name from Vietnam.
You let a handsome stranger follow you through the markets of Hanoi.
The markets are beautifully designed.
And it's freeing to be this person he thinks you are, this person who isn't bound by her own history or sadness.
And Diane's escapism is so so understandable. Wanting to pretend to be someone else to avoid all that you are feeling and going through.
I was actually feeling something special here.
Really? It didn't strike you as weird that you talked for 2 hours straight and I said nothing? Or is that what felt special?
I love when Diane returns to reality. She's like, yeah, hold up. Why is this guy so into me? I said like 4 words to him.
Why does this happen to me every time I go on location?
I don't know, dude. What is the common denominator in all of those situations? I'll let you sit and think on this one.
Ugh.
Hanoi Woo Studios. There's also a Civet coffee place, just like the one from Ruthie. And this motel sign apparently uses Sino-Vietnamese vocabulary, which is a nice specific detail. Look at that, in-depth world building.
Why do you look so different?
Do you like it? It's a whole new fun me.
Diane once again trying to cope with all the changes in her life by changing her appearance. I like her haircut, but I don't know about y'all. This romper is fucking hideous looking on her. Lime green? Diane, what were you thinking? You are clearly an autumn girl. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
God, you're all over the place. You hate parties.
I don't hate parties. You hate parties. I'm fun.
I feel like the clash here comes from Bojack recognizing that Diane's acting unlike herself and trying to appeal to Mr. Peanutbutter, and it makes him feel uncomfortable, especially since she puts him down in the process. She's trying to simply abandon that part of herself rather than recognize her flaws and simply cover up all of that negativity that she's feeling with this new version of Diane. I'm guessing he didn't get that photo before it went to the printers. This woodpecker playing Jenga. They're probably really good at it.
Anyway, I can't stay long because I'm supposed to go to the roller rink later. Hopefully there won't be any mob bosses there.
Thanks for explaining how it all happened, Todd. Very, very logical. I can picture it in my mind.
Nice haircut.
Oh, this? No, I didn't.
Yeah, it really brings out the neck of your neck.
Paul F. Thompson's delivery is a treasure.
I want to talk to you.
No. How is
Erica!
Hurts me to see Diane misinterpreting Mr. Peanutbutter's generic party conversation for genuine interest and care for her. He uses this exact same line in the first episode, too.
Seriously, though, how are you?
Well, I've been kind of up.
Living the dream, yeah. Hey, we'll catch up later, right? I want to talk to you. Erica! What are you doing here with a child-sized coffin?
I'm sorry, what did Erica bring?
No, I can't pick sides in this divorce because I'm really good friends with the both of you. But I want you to know, no matter what, I'm here for you and also there for him.
Honestly, this is so relatable, trying to stay friends with 2 people who are currently fighting and not wanting to take sides. I've literally been in that situation.
Are we sure we need this strip club set? Because once we put the deposit down, we cannot get that money back.
The little detail about the stripper set being non-refundable, knowing that it was not used from the last episode.
I'm sorry. I've been so weird. I'm going through some shit.
Good on Diane to apologize to Bojack for how she's been acting. She is very mature at the end of this episode and has clearly learned a lot from her journey to Vietnam.
Thanks. This is Diane, by the way.
Nguyen?
Yeah. Nguyen.
Also, a sweet platonic moment of this constant clarification they both do at the end of their phone calls. I love it because it's not flirting at all, but it is a beautiful moment that just shows their connection.
You get divorced, you go to Vietnam to find yourself, but then what? How does it all work out?
Well, I do find myself. My clone.
Laura Linney showing up and subverting the parallel to Diane's storyline with an absolutely batshit movie plot.
Excuse me, can I get some more pretzels? I'm Laura Linney.
This might be my favorite celebrity guest line ever in this show.
Hey, stranger.
Not only is the upcoming reveal great, but once again, the way the story is structured is astonishing. Returning to this scene we saw last episode with much more context, and then continuing forward and using it to deliver the final emotional blow that we cut away from earlier.
The real reason you go to Vietnam is because you accidentally see your soon-to-be ex-husband kiss someone else. But then he puts his hand on the small of her back exactly the way he used to do to you. It means, I've got you.
Amazing that it isn't the kiss that ends up upsetting Diane here. It's this meaningful gesture of care, something specific to Mr. Peanutbutter and something that used to be specific to her. She's going through a severe identity crisis at this moment, and it's so understandable that this is what snaps her out of this odd phase that she's been in. Of course she knows that her marriage is over, but she hasn't fully realized the weight of that until now, and that is why, feeling all of those emotions all at once, she felt the need to run away and pretend to be someone else.
After your heart was so broken that you thought it could never get any more broken. You thought it was safe, but it still somehow finds a new way to break. Because even though you're the one who asked for this, now that you've got it, you are completely adrift. So you go to Vietnam. You think you might find community, but you don't. In fact, you feel even more alone than you were before you left. You learn that you can survive being alone. I'm really happy for you, Mr. Peanutbutter.
Okay, 10 points for this ending monologue. First, of course, the composition is incredible. The soundtrack aids in the melancholy feeling, and then brilliantly transitions to hopeful. The editing with Diane cycling through all the locations from this episode, searching for meaning, Allison Brie's perfect delivery, it's all incredible. But the best part of this ending is the message. All of these strategies that she's used this episode to cope, to avoid feeling lonely, to run away from that experience, none of them worked, and she ended up having to face what she was desperately trying to avoid this entire time, but it didn't kill her. She's alone. Yes, but life will go on, and she can still learn to be happy and fulfilled even if she remains alone. Because, by the way, it's alone in a romantic sense. She still has a support system, of course. Plus, as she states earlier this episode before she comes home, anything is possible. The fact that she can accept this and even state that she's happy for Mr. Peanutbutter for being able to move on is so mature and shows that Diane is healthily processing her split from him and is going to work on herself in the meantime. In fact, she has already started.
Năm 9 mười mấy, tôi làm diễn viên đóng TV nổi tiếng.
Making the ending theme in Vietnamese and getting Group Love to come back and record it is just great. I appreciate the effort that went into this episode, and every episode, really. If you enjoyed this video, consider going to patreon.com/PosiTVty. That's PosiTVty. There, you can get all of these videos before they come out on YouTube. Plus, you can tell us exactly what videos you want us to make, and we'll make them right away. And it's just a great way to support us in the process, so please go there if you haven't already. But thank you for watching on here as well. We appreciate all of the support you give us on YouTube, and every bit of engagement matters, so thank you for that, and have a wonderful day.